So today's gonna have to be a quick back day, and I'm already gotten more technical difficulties again because I was certain that as long as my receiver for my microphone is plugged into my phone, it's not gonna die, right? Not the case. It's dying. So I gotta try and be quick. And besides, I need to be quick anyways because today I have to go to sleep at a decent time for work tomorrow. I can tie this. I gotta switch out the bar on this. There's only one bar in my gym that's like a really good bar, and it's hard to find because usually somebody's using it. It's Texas Power Bar. Right? The rest of these are just like some generic, like bought from Dick's Sporting Goods or something like that type of barbell. So, but anyways, we're doing back day, so we're gonna start off with rows. Some bent over rows, heavy. And I'll be back after my excursion to find a good bar. Here we are. Here's the good stuff. All right. You know, one thing I kind of hate about this. Like, I purposely came at a later time, right? But there's not so many people, and I'm not like just getting a bunch of random people in my shot that don't want to be, right? Just out of respect for them. And I'm only filming myself. Like, I've just got it set up right here. There's nobody else that you can really see unless they pass by in the mirror. And I still get people looking at me weird running a tripod. Like, it's a public space. You're being watched by other people anyways. And even then, those people aren't paying attention to you. They're working out. Like, have you ever truly noticed, unless you're doing something absurd, or you're a newbie and some experienced lifter is watching you bench press, and you're about to die, nobody's paying attention to you in the gym. Unless, of course, like I was just saying, you bring in a tripod, you start filming yourself, then everyone's like, who's this guy? What's he doing? Why does he have a camera? Why does he have a tripod? That's weird. You know what's weird? Being an asshole. But I digress. So the one reason I like using this bar, and wherever you go, whatever gym you go to, if you're doing things like deadlift or bent over rows like this, you gotta find a bar that has good dragon scales in it, right? These are very raised. You can feel that. It'll help you grip the bar. You find some of these other ones, like the one I moved off of here, they're cheap. It's not a good impression, or it's not etched deep enough into the metal, and it's slippery. As soon as you get any sort of moisture in it, it's like it's not there. It's like there's nothing. Like you can see it. You can see it has dragon scale, but unless it's very pronounced, you don't get any benefit from it. So let's try and find a good bar that'll get you good grip. Or just straps and a crap ton of liquid chalk, which that's something I need to get. I don't have any chalk, or I used to, and it made a huge mess in my bag. So I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna get liquid chalk. And that was like a year ago. So I gotta find some of that somewhere. But anyways, go up and wait. get this over with. I really hope I can get my sleep to be optimal or better. My sleep usually sucks. It's usually terrible. And, you know, I mean, I don't take melatonin. I used to, and I stopped using it because it was like a crutch. When I didn't have it, my sleep was just atrocious. Or like worse than it is now. But like I've seen a couple other things out there, some like, you know, before bed health supplements that it's not melatonin, but it's just like other things that naturally help you feel more tired or fall asleep. I don't know what, I can't remember what the name of these ingredients are, but like, they're like, you know, certain plant extracts or whatnot, you know, something like that. Some fancy doodle stuff. Anyways, another set we shall do. These are just, I feel like this is my absolute favorite to start off back day with. Like I know some days you should change it up just so that like, not always doing the same thing and your body just gets used to doing the same exact routine every single time. So change it up, you know, give your brain, your body, your nervous system a little bit of a puzzle to work through, or a challenge. Well, not really a challenge, but just switch it up. But this is my favorite warm-up. I love warming up with this for back day because I feel like it just activates absolutely everything in your back. You know, you're using the upper portion at the top end of the lift, squeezing your traps, rhomboids, all the little muscles there in the top portion of your back. I can't even reach it. Bodybuilder issues. But yeah, all that top portion of your back there, you're activating, of course, your lats when you're driving through your elbows, and you're also activating your lower back because as you're preparing for the lift, right, you have to use your lower back and your core to stabilize yourself in order to move that weight up, right? You have a little bit of, you come up like this, and then boom, you come back down. And it's been proven that, like, you know, some people are like, oh, you should be doing it absolutely strict to get the most out of your lats. And it's like, it's a full body workout. You're not just trying to isolate your lats with this unless you do extremely low weight, because that's the only way you're gonna get it. All right, this is meant for this is a full back movement, using every single muscle in your back to do this. And it's been scientifically proven that you actually get more of a squeeze in your lats anyways when you move like that, when you come up. It's not cheating, it's not jerking, as long as you're not, you know, jerking the weight like an idiot, like or standing almost straight up. Because then at that point you're just, you know, doing a drag curl or a reverse drag curl, I should say, because you're not holding it like this. So don't be worried about that. It's not all about. There's a science to working out, but then there's just basic technique and finesse to working out. It doesn't have to be that complicated or that crazy, right? You don't have to go off listing all the scientific names of everything and the angle. You should be at a blah, blah, blah angle. So I want to just don't be standing up completely straight. Don't jerk the weight, but move it. Finesse. Anywho, I think I'm gonna move it up. I'm gonna move it up to 315, and we're gonna do 2 top sets of this with some strappies, because I know if I don't, I'll lose my grip like halfway through the sets. Not even, because that's a lot of weight to move in your hands like that to fight against gravity. You know, it's like they say, it's you can hold more weight than you can lift or push. And so when you're moving it like that, and then gravity wants to just rip back down on it, and you got to control it, using a lot of very small muscles to hold on to all that. So it's where straps are a very beautiful thing. I think it's time for a water break, and then we're gonna bust out the headphones, the headphony balonies. That's if I have them. I don't even. Okay, I do. I good. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's how you know I'm tired. I just said that backwards. I do. Or I said I'm. I don't even know. My brain is so smooth right now. Smooth. Smooth as can be. Smooth as glass. Smooth brain. I still gotta figure out what I'm gonna eat after this workout, man. I don't know if I wanna grab some Qdoba and McDonald's or just Qdoba and get a buttload of it, because one's more expensive than the other. I want some clips here too. Where's some clips? Come on. How do two squat racks only have one clip? They don't even got the, oh, okay, they do got the good ones. Here we go. Now sometimes I wear a belt for this, but honestly, assuming how I really like to do beltless squat, this is pretty good for helping to develop the strength in your lower back in order to keep it tight and straight and have a good brace, right? A belt is really just there to help you feel your brace and keep it. But if you're an experienced lifter, you know how to do that. It's not that hard, right? You know the Valsalva maneuver. I mean, it might be helping you to, not have a hernia, but even then, you can have a hernia using a belt. It's just a matter of time. Your body will give out whenever it wants. So if you're gonna get a hernia, you're gonna get one. But, and it's back to my original point, if you can do this, don't overload and try and absolutely cat back in this all the way up and whatnot and tear a bicep or something. But if you can handle this kind of weight, I'd say as long as you know how to hold your brace, you're comfortable with it, it doesn't feel like it's too much, you're gonna pass out doing this, you can still get a good breath down with it, then do it, and it'll help you with other things, a lot of things. Having good strength in your lower back and in your core, your inner hips, all of that is real good. All like this, like I said, it's a compound movement. It doesn't really include your legs, but it is almost a full body movement, right? If you're doing it correctly. It should be involving everything. And I forgot, I want to use my headphones. What time is it? 8:06 already. Man, I'm slow. I also talk too much. That's a story for another day. We gotta move through this fast. So I gotta pick some. All right, we're back. We got the music we wanted. Whew. I feel pretty good. I did use a little leg drive on that, but for the most part, is pretty solid. I think the next set, I'm gonna try and control it on the down movement because I got it explosive to come up, but then I'm just letting it drop down. So I wanna have more of a control in the motion through the elbows. Whew. I know I say it every video, but do your cardio. Don't be like me. I skip it a lot and it's terrible. I shouldn't, especially for my job. I need cardio. But in the past year, I've been through a lot, lots of up and downs. I used to vape like a gosh dang cloud making machine. It was stupid. It's one of the stupidest things you can do because that damage is basically permanent. There it is, it's permanent. You're never gonna get rid of that lung damage you're doing to yourself vaping. And not to mention the adverse health effects of smoking nicotine, right? Constricts your blood vessels. It causes plaque to build up. Even if you're not smoking it from cigarettes, it still can cause plaque to build up in your arteries. It hardens your arteries as well, right? That's not something that's only exclusive to smoking cigarettes. Vaping will also, because it's still nicotine, it'll still cause hardening of your arteries and veins. It'll stain your teeth. It'll cause your gums to recede. And especially with vaping, it can cause a lot of tooth-related issues. Your gums recede, but then also because it's got vegetable glycerin in it, it's flavored, it's sweet, right? That stuff is sticking to your teeth. It's wearing down your enamel. And because you're constantly hitting that stuff all day long for who knows how long, right? It's gonna cause tooth decay. It's gonna cause cavities. It's bad. And I experienced that. I had cavities. I had like 2 or 3 of them. And I quit vaping. No more. The cavities stopped popping up. I have no more. I haven't had cavities in about 1.5 years. And I know there's a lot of people on one side of the fence and a lot of people on the other side of the fence when it comes to this. But I used to be a big partaker in recreational marijuana, right? Believing all of the hoopla, it's good for you, all this, yada, 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 right? What's good for you is hemp. Hemp is good for you. CBD, all those other, all the other cannabinoids that you can find in marijuana and hemp are good for you. They are beneficial. Your endocannabinoid system it's a real thing, and there's a good science behind it. The issue is high concentrations of THC, right? You got things like cartridges nowadays, where it is just insane the concentration. You can have a cartridge that's 94 or like anywhere from like 70, like any number you can think of. You could be from 50% to 94% THC. That whole gram, 2 grams, however big you buy, right? And that's not healthy. That literally just fries your brain. Like I felt so stupid. Like I'm like even now, I still have kind of like repercussions of it. I have ADHD. I have things out of sight, out of mind. I'm terrible at juggling a bunch of different tasks, right? I'll leave something unfinished, start something else new, leave a TV remote in the fridge type of deal, right? Those of us that have ADHD, we've all done that, but it made it worse smoking that much. For 2 years, or even longer than that, I think it's 3 years. For 3 years, I smoked every single day. Every day, all day. That's all I wanted to do. And I was a bum. I was failing in life. I had no money because of my habit. And people want to say weed isn't addictive. That's a lie. You're lying to yourselves. It's all a lie. And not to mention, right? Sure, there are those out there that need it for medical reasons. It helps people with cancer, chronic types of pain, right? Because CBD and THC together are good for pain management. But if you're only taking THC, there's an issue or just high concentrated amounts of it. Like even the bud and flower, like flower nowadays, you can get stuff like, it's ridiculous how stoned it makes you. But back to what I was saying originally, THC increases inflammation, right? When I have to pick up people in an ambulance as an EMT and they tell me that they were having crazy stomach pain or something like that, and they're like, so I smoked some weed for it and it just got worse and I don't know why. And I'm like, that's because THC increases inflammation. If you had something that was mostly CBD, right? If it was either a 50-50 or a 60-40 of CBD to THC, it might have actually made you feel better with slight euphoric effects, right? But no, because they're smoking high concentration THC, it increases the inflammation and their stomach pain, whatever's going on, becomes worse. It is worsened. So don't believe all the big hoopla and lies out there by people who are literally just addicted to marijuana. That's all it is. The people telling you, oh, it's so great for you, even if it's not for you, like it still could be, man. Like, it has so many great benefits. No, it doesn't. The cons outweigh the pros in terms of just smoking it for the psychedelic, or not psychedelics. It's not psychedelic. It's psychoactive for its psychoactive effects. It's stupid. But anyways, enough of my ranting. We're gonna get back to lifting this again after we change our music selection. Man. Oh, that's starting to feel lighter and lighter each time I do it. So I'm thinking, hopefully by the time I get to like 205, up it a little, we get to 210. When I get to 210, maybe we could do like 350, 360. That would be insane. I would love that. But anywho, we've now done 4 sets of this. So on to the next, which is going to be pull downs. So clean this all up and go do that. And just for clarification, YouTube, I was not endorsing marijuana at all. I am against it. Do not come for me. So, I know technically everything, has its uses, but really, on the pull down, this ain't it. Maybe on that, right? What's that called? Low row, right? On the row, this is better for that. Especially for what you're trying to hit. If you're trying to get like upper and lower, like the middle of your back and upper traps and everything. It's better for that. This is pull downs. Pull downs are meant for the width. I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah, the width of your back. It's pull-ups basically. You don't want to have an insanely wide grip, but you don't want to just be. It's going to severely limit your range of motion and everything like that when you have your arms so close together with that small attachment, right? Like you're coming down to here, but when you have your arms out here, or even just a little bit wider apart, your elbows can come all the way through, and you're gonna actually get all the activation you need in your back. If you're using that small little attachment, you just come to here, you're barely working anything. It's not beneficial very much, as opposed to using some sort of straight pull-down bar, which we're gonna do. We're gonna try 220 today. We're gonna keep upping it. Last time I did pull-downs, or mainly what I've been doing is I've been going up to 200. I used to do for the longest time, like highest I could go for reps was about 180. Now, I jumped up to 200. Now we're gonna try and jump up to 220. But it is back day, so we are gonna use the straps. Perhaps, I don't know. Let's see how the first set goes. My hands are a little sweaty. Okay. I love it when people act like I can't hear them behind me. Like, oh, good thing to eat, Sam Sulek? No, I'm not Sam Sulek. Do I look like I'm blasting gear? Absolutely not. Could not be me. Not that Sam's admitted to it, but it's pretty damn obvious. Holy shit. I'm a small guy. Enough of that, because it's just going to turn into ugly half reps. So. And losing grip. I mean, that felt pretty good though. I think that's what? It's like, I'd say 6 good ones, about two or three, like half. Yeah, I'd say they're half reps basically. That wasn't too bad. I'll take it. It's not too late, 8:26. Hoping to be out of here at 9 at the latest. Get some Qdoba, head home, get some good rest before work. And I mean, when it comes to my sleeping, I don't know what it is, how I've gotten such a bad sleep schedule. Like, I have 5 days off in between my shifts, and even on my days off, I still sleep like crap. It's, I don't know. I drink too much caffeine. Don't want to end up like Chris, Trent Twins, recently getting hospitalized because he drank 700 milligrams of caffeine. I don't drink that much, but still, that's insane. Some people, you look at them and they're like, 700 milligrams of caffeine, that's nothing. And it's like, dude, that's like close to a lethal dose of caffeine. The stuff that it does to you, the reason it's not supposed to be abused, and why, why they say, what is it? You're not supposed to, the daily intake is not supposed to be anything over 400 grams in one day. Yeah, 400 grams, no, 400 milligrams. That's 0.4 of a gram. Nah. Could you imagine if someone had 400 grams of caffeine, what that would do to you? Obviously, you die, but I mean, like, what would that feel like? Would you feel like you're a Greek god for like 3 seconds and then just, your heart stops? Or would you even be able to make it through a workout? Probably not. Anyways, let's take another little sippy, some water. Let me move that so I'm not in people's way. I was trying to make it so that just like camera's kind of right on me, nobody else, but nobody's really saying anything except for the people behind me, which I don't understand. One more. Nope. Gotta let the blood return to my hands. Normally that's what happens when you like fail pull-ups or whatnot, or like you see people that actually beat the uh, carnival game where you have to hold on for like a minute or something. If you let each hand down, let the blood get back to it, recirculate, and switch, you can just keep going, right? Or with this, you're strapped in and your arms are above your heart, so it's working harder to pump the blood to your hands, to your forceps, your forearms, your biceps. So when you're unable to pull anymore, it's not because your back necessarily can't keep going, it's because just the rest of your body, the rest of your arms that are above your heart need to be replenished. You're not getting enough oxygen to them to continue working. But we're just gonna keep progressively going down this, treating it like a drop set essentially. I've leaned more into doing that, like not for the first, obviously, I wouldn't say do this for your first set or your first workout of your gym day, right? Starting heavy. You do that, you're gonna hurt yourself, right? You gotta warm up to it. But once you're warmed up, your next lift, you can go into it like I did with the top set. For me is 220. Got it for a good couple of reps, go down 20 pounds. Get a couple more reps, go down another 20 pounds. Get a couple more good reps. And I feel like that's better than starting out with really lightweight to warm up and you waste a little bit of energy that could have been reserved for your top set. Right? Like if you're already warm and you have the energy to do your top set, do your top set and then go down from there. Because it'll progressively feel slightly easier, even though if you don't like necessarily have the energy to pump out the next few, it just works better. I don't know. Do I look like I went to college? No. I'm just a dumb fireman. I mean, in all honesty, it just feels kind of like common sense. That's all I'm saying. But I don't know what I want to do after this. I'm like thinking. This is my one issue. I come into the gym and I don't know what to do. I'm like, I know it's like, okay, it's back day or it's chest day. And then I'm just like, what do I do? Like normally I have like today, like back days, like I said, I always warm up with bent over rows, but you know, then I'll be like, do I want to do pull downs or do I want to do chest supported rows or do I want to do this or do I want to do that? And I just feel like it takes too much time to like actually sit down and set up each day. I like the spontaneity of just going with something different each time or changing it up each time when I'm in the moment. But then I'm also just like, that takes time as well when I'm here because I have to sit there and think. I'm not very good at thinking. There's nothing going on up here. It's just a hamster on a wheel. Like I'm not real. This is just AI. You're dreaming. Anyways. What we got on there? 180. What time is it? 8:35, 8:36. Okay, so it's been about like 10 minutes of me being here. That's not bad. Making good time. I really do need to get better at my time usage in the gym. But anywho, short man hack. Here we go. Here's about the seat. I'm gonna clean it off later. All right, not bad. We'll do one more set of that with 2.5 on it. Some days I do feel good enough, or like I've tried working on it. Um, you know, instead of just letting the bar like rest in your fingers like that and you're just hooking to it, I try and, like, let's say my fingers are the bar here, right? Instead of just holding on like that or like this, I try putting the meat of my palm around the bar and pulling and like that, like thinking of the bar like it's a sponge, right? A lot of people, when they tell you to try and move more weight or try and get into the rep end, they're like, think you're bending the bar, think you're bending it. Well, that's different. That's not telling you to squeeze harder. That's telling you, oh, you know, like do this kind of move, bring your elbows in, or, you know, it might make you think, I gotta engage my chest or something. You should think of the bar as a sponge, right? Think you're squeezing a sponge. You're just wringing the absolute life out of it. That is gonna help you hold on and activate everything else just a little more, right? Because all those tendons, it's like a butterfly effect. The harder you squeeze up here, the harder everything else is gonna squeeze. So instead of thinking you're bending the bar and limiting that extra squeeze to only certain muscles, think of squeezing the sponge, squeezing the life out of it. You're just, I'm telling you, it works, okay? I don't know why, I don't know how, but it works. And I think we're gonna do that for this set because we're at the lowest that we've pulled so far. And I didn't waste all my forearm strength on the rows by using the wraps, so. And it's good, I mean, to work on your forearm grip because you can train, you can use the gym to train for being able to move weight in real life for your job or certain other things, or maybe for, in case of emergencies type of deal, right? You want to be the biggest dude in the room, strongest, can move the most, do something. Compound lifts and having to move something unnaturally are two different things. And so training your grip like that is good instead of just always relying on your straps, right? You want to be able to build that up. And forearms look good when they're massive, so. That wasn't going anywhere. And just as I ramble on about forearms, my forearms gave out. So just take off 5 pounds and try and burn it down with the straps. Come on. Yeah. All right. That's been overdone. Checking on my damn microphone, make sure it doesn't die this time like it has. I think it's the previous 2 videos, like in a row, that I've uploaded where they just die. Like, you know what, we're gonna do this right here. We're gonna do the low row, and we're gonna do that for the middle of our back, right? That's gonna hit your traps and whatnot real good. I have been trying to break out of the habit of just taking like 10 minutes in between sets, because that's the recipe for being here for like 2 hours when you only do like 3 or 4 movements. Try and get in as much as you can, just get it all done. But some days it's hard. Time management, it's a big thing. You never get used to it. Yeah, that felt good. One thing I hope y'all notice when I'm lifting is I do try and go for the full stretch, right? If all you do are half reps and whatnot, sure, there's use for them. There's use for half reps, but they shouldn't make up the majority, if not all of your movements, right? because you're just ego lifting at that point, or just lifting like an idiot. You want to have the full stretch to get the entire muscle into play and to be able to have the full range of motion. If all you do is half reps, you're gonna make, even at like, I have terrible flexibility, I have terrible mobility. But if I were to only ever do half reps all the time, or just crappy reps, I would have even worse mobility, right? It would just be the movement of the muscle is shortened. Instead of having the full strength throughout the full movement and stretching that muscle to its full length, if all you ever do is work it in its like half to shortened position, you're only going to have range of motion within your shortened half movement. You know what I mean? Don't take that verbatim. I'm no like science major or whatever, but like that's just from my experience, that's how it feels. Like if you know, if you've been going to the gym for a while and you know how things feel in your body, or you know, you've built a really good mind to muscle connection and you can tell when something's working just by the feeling in your musculature, then you'll understand what I'm saying. But other than that, let's go down a little bit. Ah, that felt good. I'm probably for this last set not going to need any straps. And I'm probably jinxing myself just by saying that, you know. But it's only 140 pounds. I weigh 200 pounds, and I can do 20 strict pull-ups, you know, all the way down, all the way up, not this, you know, half rep pull-up when people are like, oh yeah, I can do like 25, 30 pull-ups in a row, and like, all right, show me, and they go up there and they do this, you know, like, and they count that as a freaking pull-up. All you're doing is just glorified bicep curls at that point. You gotta go all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, till I'm elbows nice and straight. But like I can do that at 200 pounds when I'm fresh. I couldn't do that at the end of my workout, but because I know I can do that when I'm optimal, at the end of my set, I should be able to hold on to 140 pounds pretty easy. So that's one thing I love, is that before getting into the gym, I did a lot of calisthenics, right? As a kid, I did gymnastics. And then just growing up, I kind of kept up with doing push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, you know, handstands, doing fun little tricks like planking on just my hands, right? Like you put your hands in the middle of, kind of just like teeter-totter on it, or you know, you get in a push-up position and then you just pick your feet up and you're like a straight board, or being able to do front levers, stuff like that, like the muscle ups. I always kept up with that, including into my bulk and everything. And I can still do those things. I can still do muscle ups, all that, at 200 pounds. Some people look at me like, dude, you're a freak of nature. Like you deadlift over 500 pounds, you bench press over 300 pounds, you squat over 400 pounds, and yeah, you can do some of the same movements as guys that lift like 200 pounds less than that and weigh like a buck 60 soaking wet. You can still do things pretty easy like rock climbing. You got to be able to retain some of your athleticism. You can't just let the gym, you know, turn you into just a walking fridge that all he can do is lift weights and that's it. And you know, if you ask him to do anything else, he's like, oh, well, I can't really do that. I'm too big. Like, are you gonna let that be your excuse? I've seen some freaks of nature out there though that are like 260 pounds themselves, and then they go and do weighted pull-ups. That's scary. That's extremely scary. Woo. All right. I don't know why 140 is feeling heavy. That freaked me out. Jeez. It's like a good pain. Except for when you get rips. Rips are not fun. But I don't know. I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh, you got soft hands, you know, you're a wuss, you ain't done nothing in your life. You're a sissy boy, ain't you? But, and I say but with, you know, the utmost respect, I do find pride in having rough working hands, right? It shows that I'm a hard worker. I put in work. I have discipline. You know, whether my hands are beat up or not, I'm coming in here and working hard, or I'm at work and I'm working hard. And but I ain't one of those guys that's gonna be rude about it. Like, you know, so for some people, their job doesn't require them to do that, or the gym just, you know, isn't their thing. That's not what they do. They might be a calisthenics freak or something like that, and they just, well, no, calisthenics freaks would have. I don't know why I meant cardio. You know, they're a cardio freak, and all they do is run miles and miles and miles, and you know that's why they're in shape. Okay, cool. They don't need to have that. If anything, you know, that's their feet, and they have pride in their run times. Whereas me, it's the amount of weight I lift and my hands. You know? I like saying that. You'd be like, yeah, like, you know, I got rough working hands because I work hard. But other people work hard too, and it doesn't necessarily have to be shown through that. You know, some people it's the bank account because they got a nice corporate job and they make well over, you know, a very big 6 figures per year type of deal, and they get to show off their hard work with things like, you know, fancy cars, being able to eat like a $500 steak meal at Ruth's Chris. But anyways, let's go check out this pump because it's feeling freakish tonight. So, take a look at this nasty pump. Oh. I don't know. What am I going to do with this? I'm gonna clip this to my ear or something? Will that work? It will. Oh my goodness. I don't even know if they can actually hear me. Hold on. I'm like one of those deadlifting high schoolers. Got an earring on or something. Looks funky, probably works. Anyway, if my mustache was long enough, I could probably hang it off of that. Hold on. Now that the roid heads are out of my way. Here we go. This is better. I've been trying to like fix my poses, but I'm starting to feel like even these aren't looking that good anymore. Like, who knows? Also don't like, I've been trying to like find good camera angles and whatnot and all this bull crap. I honestly feel like it's better to just be back here. You get a full view of it, like you're on stage or something. Oh, breath. I gotta pee. Damn. Making it very hard to vacuum. The pump went away. Slightly. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Jeez. That's nuts right there. Look at, oh, dude, that little cut right up there. I love that, especially when I do like a side chest. You can see as I pull back the way that looks. I love that. I never really checked the back posing. Let's see it. Ooh, oh damn, hey, looks like I unlocked a new vein or something back there. Damn. I'm not very good at holding these. You good, Terry? How's it going?
Have a good night.
You too, Terry. I don't even know how good that looks. Anyways, it's Qdoba time. So, about to go. I don't know what you want to have. Probably gonna eat like 1,300 calories in one meal. If I can do it, if I can fit it into my fat mouth, maybe. I don't know. Anywho, good evening, good night. See you later, ladies and gentlemen.